So when we started this whole thing, I did ask a few questions in the very beginning of, hey, is this going to be a problem? And I routinely, the answer that I got was, it shouldn't be, but it was like with the shoulder shrug and maybe.
Could be.
It could work, but here's what we know. It's another beautiful day in sports. It's another beautiful day in the upstate of South Carolina, and Tank nor I are there to see it because it is raining aggressively here in Asheville, and has been. I walked outside and got soaked head to toe in 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely fine. Everything's good. I was going to lunch, and then the roof of the world dropped out right on my head.
South Asheville's not bad right now, but apparently West Asheville has been the center for storms today because I drove through a hellacious storm on the way down here, and it stopped right after the Brevard Road exit, and everything was fine. It hasn't rained a drop in South Asheville.
My entire family has had a term for this that I do not know where it came from, but it's one of those. It's just it's a heathen monster of a day.
A heathen monster.
It's a heathen monster.
Okay. Is that like a minion in a monster?
No doubt. It's a combination of the two. Kind of how Portugal feels right now as they watch their World Cup dreams disappear.
Well, bye, Ronaldo. See you later.
You know what? Look, here's what I know. I'm not much of a soccerman, but I'm learning it as we go. And I do know this. I know that we're the best. Our players playing nana nana boo boo, and if you don't like it, stick your head and doo doo. How about that?
Just get over it. Get over it. Why not?
I have never. One thing that I think will long be a problem for American soccer fans is, sometimes we just make stuff up. Balogun gets a red card. Guess what? He's playing now. Why? I don't really know. Not sure that the rule is being enforced correctly. Not sure the red card was enforced correctly, and maybe not. The United States president may have had an involvement in it. I don't know. Here's what I do know.
The Waffles are trying to appeal it.
Well, I mean, there are a whole lot of angles to tie together here, right? I mean, there's obviously there was a call made.
Yes.
Now, was it under the understanding of, hey, you gave me that peace prize, and I could give it back if you don't bring our player back? Something like that could have been said, but I don't think so. I would just imagine that, I don't know, the leader of the country in which you're hosting the tournament in says, hey, I don't know if that was really a fair call. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to us. Would you go back and look at it? And they went back and looked at it. It was like, you know what? It's probably best if we just turn this over because it was stupid that he got the red card in the first place.
I do.
So the fact that Fuller and Balogun, or Flo, we just call him Flo?
Balogun.
Flo Balogun. He's going to play tonight. And look, we don't have much of a chance to beat Belgium without him, I don't think.
He definitely helps.
We had 10 men.
Certainly helps.
We were doing it with 10 men. We could do it.
Hey, look.
Yeah, but that was against
Bosnia,
whoever.
Do not undersell the value of $250. We've got American pride, and we are here to take your sport from you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I
hope so.
I just love that the president of FIFA is so scared of Donald Trump that he is literally telling you, yeah, he called. He called me a stupid person, and then I thought about it for a day, and then I decided he could play. Do all those things have anything to do with each other? I don't know. They might. You can't prove that they do or don't.
I don't know. They're so much scared of him. I mean, they're buddies. Yeah. So I mean, that's why he got the Peace Prize, because he was a buddy of what's his face? What's his name? What's the guy? It's not Sepp Blatter.
Sepp Blatter was like 25 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Well, it was a while. See, but
it was a while.
Well, you also have to understand, with me, soccer is it's like leap year children. It only ages 1 year every 4 years, because as soon as this is over, I'll forget everything I learned. You know how I know that? Because this ain't the first time I've done this.
This ain't the first time. We did this in 2002. We did this in 2008.
I don't remember what year it was.
6, whatever.
It was several ago that I got very into this. I learned a good bit about soccer, and then we missed the next one. And you give me an 8-year span, I'm back at square one. I don't remember squat. You're lucky I called it a ball, because that's about the extent of what I knew. Hey, 11 dudes for us, 11 dudes for them, ball.
He's like, is Lexi Lawless still on this team?
No doubt.
No, he's not.
Are we going to see a Landon Donovan sighting at some point? Because that's about where my knowledge kind of dropped off when we stopped being. I mean, the United States in soccer, this has been our year like 7 times in my lifetime. And what I don't understand is that somehow 90% of children at some point play soccer, and all of the best athletes burn out of it, and we wind up with 3. There's 3 where we go, that dude's a top 100 player in the world. How many more do we have? Nope. How does that happen? We're one of the most athletic countries in the world, and yet never do we have a full team where we go, yes, we are built up, but I am excited for tonight with Belgium. 8 o'clock tonight. You can hear it right here on WROO, Fox Sports Upstate.
Yeah, I caution everybody on getting your hopes up. I'm seeing a lot of social media activity of
no.
Hey, we're going to win this thing.
No. Tank, did you not? Okay, 2 days ago, it was America Day. All right, America Day was 2 days ago. I know that because I celebrated my nation's independence by blowing up many small pieces of it for quite an extended period of time. This is our day. It's all setting up perfectly for us to get into the round of 8, really drum up the excitement, and then we pray quite aggressively from there as to how this goes.
And hope you don't get squished by Spain.
No doubt. You can get involved in the show. Call-in line's 864-240-5480, or you can hit us with a text at any time, 864-777-9593. I believe we have our first caller of the day. Caller, I really hope you can hear me, and I'm even more hopeful that I can hear you.
I got you, Jeremy. This is Rocky.
Let's go. Rocky, yes, I'm always happy to hear from you, but the fact that your voice just came through my headphones, this is the happiest moment I've had in quite some time. It worked. Let's go.
I'm just calling about the red card stuff, and after that was done, and then you hear that, well, FIFA doesn't, they don't change calls, you can't appeal, you can't do this, it's FIFA rules and all that, and then all of a sudden, when they came out with this, and all I could think of was, okay, FIFA is, they're playing in Mexico and they're playing in Canada, but the majority of this thing is in all these big venues in the United States of America, and it is the 4th of freaking July, and they are making money hand over fist. All the international people, which is wonderful, are coming over here, and it's a great experience, and watching it whenever I can is good. He said, well, with all that being said, we got to figure out how can we do this? So let's delve back into the rule books, and see. There's got to be some obscure rule or some rule where we can let this boy play on Monday. And lo and behold, what do we get? They came out with slow motion replay cannot be used to make a call or whatever it was on that. So I guess that was the reason that they suspended the suspension for a year. And I'm like, okay, he's on probation for a year. Well, World Cup's not for 4 more years. So I wonder what's that going to be? But then, then I hear later that Trump and all that stuff got involved. I just had a sneaking suspicion that call was not, that red card was not going to stand. I don't know why. but I did.
Well, I mean, look, soccer is one of those funny sports that they have a gajillion rules, and I love analogies. Analogies are one of my favorite things, or one of my favorite ways to communicate the English language. And as this whole thing unfolded, I started realizing that this was a lot like a random fight that I've had with my wife in the almost 10 years that we've gloriously been together. I know that my argument is in trouble when she gives me the phrase, but you said, because I don't remember what I said. I ain't got a clue what I said. I say a lot of things. I talk a lot. I talk for a living. And anytime she breaks out that phrase, I go, uh-oh, I'm on the wrong side of this. As soon as they started...
Let me tell you, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm not married now, but I was married for 27 years, and I heard that you said 27,000 times, I believe.
My wife and I never argue about anything, but my wife has a memory like a steel trap. She will remember that I misused the word apt 7 years ago. I don't remember that the conversation even happened. But when she says, you said, I know I'm doomed.
Yep.
As soon as they started bringing out, well, according to regulation 10.7 A elemento Z of the FIFA code, I went, we're in. We're so back. This kid's playing, and he's probably going to score 3 times. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to find a way.
It was just because of all everything, because, I mean, FIFA's not used to all the sports that's played here in the States. There's a freaking replay if you blow your nose the wrong way or something over here in whatever sport that it is. And all the backlash and all that. And I looked at it, I saw it in real time, and I'm like, what the heck? You know, and okay, he hit the back of his foot. Okay, fine. Whatever. I mean, but anyway, it was, I said, I guarantee you before Monday comes, there's going to be some way that this kid's going to play. I don't know how, what, but there's going to be something with all the backlash and all that and all the great things that are going on with this in this country. If this kid was not to play in the United States and that it was to be a situation, then there's just going to be all hell to pay. But anyway, we'll find out tonight. Unfortunately, I got to work till 9, but I'm going to try to get my butt back to home as quick as I can.
I'm locking in the 4th of July outfit. The bathing suit's going on. The hat's going on. If you're anywhere near my house and you hear a very loud noise, do not call the cops. No one is in trouble, except maybe Belgium, because the mulleted wonder himself is here to support his country loud and proud.
Nice.
Well, go for it, my man. Go for it. And anyway, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm on my lunch break, so I got to go back to work here shortly. But glad I got you for a minute.
Rocky, anyway. we always appreciate you, my friend. Have a good night. Go USA. I will say that over the course of all of this, I have realized that I don't even really need to understand the sport to get behind it when you wrap it in the flag. Tank taught me that when I first got into radio. If you can wrap it in the flag, you can make it interesting. And this has done that. I also look at the play that actually got this kid the red card. I'm going to tell you a story. Rocky played basketball, as did I. I once, in a tournament, fouled a guy's elbow with my face. It broke a part of my nose. And the foul was on me. 25 years later, I still don't really understand how that happened. And so I see plays like that, and I go, yeah, you know, I mean, maybe it's because I am just an ugly American, but I do kind of look at Belgium and go, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, stickhead and doo-doo. Our guy's going to play U.S. by 5. Let's go. You're in the Sportsocracy here on 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate. Call lines open 864-240-5480 or hit us with a text 864-777-9593. As always, we're brought to you by our friends at Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Find them online at ingles-markets.com. Everybody eats. Everybody eats. Everybody needs gas. Everybody needs pharmaceuticals. And Ingles is a one-stop shop for that. I know. I've seen 2 in 3 days, and they always have exactly what I need. Spread for the 4th of July and the gas to get here to the studio today. Ingles Supermarkets, great partners of ours, and they can be great friends of yours as well. Ingles-markets.com. We'll be back after this commercial break on Fox Sports Upstate.
The Joy Law Firm Traffic Center. Injured? Just call Joy. 888-8888.
This is 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate Traffic.
The rush hour we go on a Monday afternoon, and we are not looking so bad. We're accident-free. Just dealing with our typical volume, 85 north from Woodruff up to Tunnel, 85 south from 101 down to Tunnel Road. So factor these areas in as you're making travel plans.
Say again. Sorry, I had it down.
That's your latest check.
Oh, no, you're good.
Saver.
This report is sponsored by RenewalByAnderson.com.
This June, upgrade your home with Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, buy one window or door and get one 40% off, plus 0 down and 0% interest for 5 full years. Boost comfort, style, and efficiency. Call today or visit RenewalByAnderson.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
If you run a business, consider this. 77% of Americans say our nation's 250th birthday is an appropriate time to celebrate. That gives you the green light to advertise. Let iHeart help you advertise around America 250. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com.
On the Dan Scott Show, we get to do two of my favorite things. That's talk about faith and sports. Bring them all together. 8 a.m. every Sunday, the Dan Scott Show presented by Ingles, just for you here on Fox Sports Upstate.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit, now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Jordan Heidema scored twice, including the game winner in the 86th minute to lead the Chicago Stars past the Utah Royals 3-2 on Sunday. The 4-0-9 Stars are currently near the bottom of the NWSL table, while the 7-3-3 Royals entered the game in second behind only the San Diego Wave. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
See, tell the TV screen. You know what I mean?
You're back in the Sportsocracy here, 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. Get involved. Call in line 864-240-5480. Text line 864-777-9593. We have discovered a new fun little kerfuffle. Apparently, we can't hear the music, so I hope I didn't jump in that at a weird time. I know he's playing AC/DC. I think you got something to tell the people about AC/DC, if I'm not mistaken.
I was just pulling that up to confirm that I could say that. Is that confirmed? I don't remember if that was official
to the last I heard it was. That was that was a tank dealing. One of the things that I have learned coming to the upstate of South Carolina, you have a lot of cool stuff that comes to Greenville and the outlying areas, whether it's Simpsonville. There are a lot of different fun activities that Tank and I are not used to having access to, because we get them here, don't get me wrong. We just don't have venues that are quite as big as Bon Secours and some of the others that are down there in Greenville. And this week, we're going to have some access to some cool stuff.
Yes, indeed. We have pairs of tickets to go see AC/DC this weekend in Charlotte,
which is fantastic.
It's the opener of the tour. They've been overseas for a while, and this will be their first date on the American leg of this tour. So you really know, with the older bands, you can think, I don't want to see, maybe at the end of the tour there's some, degradation in the performance, but this should be the best shot that we're getting from AC/DC, and we want to send you. We got pairs of tickets every day this week to give away, and hopefully, I'm going to get my wish to go to this thing as well.
Well, that was the part I was scared of, because they told me that they had tickets for you. And then I realized, he may not know that. That may have been supposed to be a surprise that I wasn't supposed to
Maybe
tell
it was. I was told that they were going to effort to get me some tickets to this thing. And so the fact that the question was even asked, I really appreciate, because AC/DC is one of my all-time favorite bands. It is on my bucket list to see them before you can't see them anymore. And hopefully it comes true this week. But if it doesn't come true for me, it'll definitely come true for 5 of you. So we've got 5 pairs of tickets to give away. That's right.
5 of you and your
take
friends.
somebody along with you.
So we will be giving those away to callers. We're going to have a couple social media integrations with that later in the week. AC/DC is one of the only bands that Tank and I agree on, because virtually anything he likes, I think, is noise, and anything I like, he knows is Creed. So, which he's not a fan of.
Yes. I mean, there was a time, but my tastes evolved after 1998. So.
Hey, 1998 was the golden age of everything. It was the golden age of the NBA. It was the golden age of music. It was the golden age of a lot of things. You do not denigrate 1998. It was fantastic. I miss that time every day. But AC/DC, definitely one that he and I can agree on, and it gets played in our studio quite a bit because we don't have a lot of those. I think the only things we actually agree on are AC/DC, John Denver, and that's really only one John Denver song, because it has a direct tie to me, and it's awesome. I do love that has become the official anthem of the summer. Did you see the Braves game over the weekend?
No. What
the organist started playing Country Roads. The crowd takes over and starts singing it, and a home run just gets absolutely ripped over the right field fence. And they keep singing it while he's going around the base path.
Nice.
As a West Virginia guy, I'm not going to lie. I saw that and went, see, that is the healing power of John Denver.
I don't know. I don't like the fact that this is now taking over "Sweet Caroline" as the America's stadium song.
Yeah, but none of you sing "Sweet Caroline" right, because none of you want. You all want to say "bump bump bump." It's not "bump bump bump." Okay, we have words for it. Google it. I can't say it here, but those are the words that fit in that song. They fit perfect. I am pretty convinced that Neil Diamond actually had that in his mind when he wrote that song.
He did not.
I'm pretty sure he did. I think he did.
No.
I believe telling Pittsburgh that it was the eat excrement was what he meant, and all of the rest of you didn't want to say that because it's wordy nerds, and so you just went bump bump bump.
Yeah,
I believe that, and I'll believe it to my dying day.
Okay.
In our YouTube chat, you can always watch us on YouTube, and you will see that Tank and I are in 2 very different places. You can get involved. Our buddy Eric Miller did that, and he said he had a question for both of us. Where is LeBron going to sign, and can he get that one more ring? Not a LeBron fan, but I respect his longevity. Okay, so there's two parts of this. One, Tank, I want to hear your answer to the question. But two, I did get into a intricate NBA discussion yesterday with someone that said LeBron James was better than Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan was not as important to the Chicago Bulls as Scottie Pippen, and I swear blood came out of my ears.
Oh, dear. That's several bad takes in a row.
It was a very close, basically family for me. The daughter of my friend is now dating a guy, and we were vetting him of, we need to hear about your sports things. The father's a Steelers fan, like Trey. The boyfriend is a Ravens fan. So you were already 10 down before you ever started talking. Then you come out with Michael Jordan wasn't as important to the Bulls, and oh boy, there were some things said in that house.
Yes.
That's the closest I've ever come to looking at somebody, the way people look at us online and go, you don't know ball. They should make podcast equipment more expensive.
I mean, I do like the fact that, there's someone willing to step up and give Scotty some due here, but you can't possibly come out with he was more important than Michael was.
Well, I mean, but Michael was 1-9 in the playoffs without Scott. Trust me, I heard the whole argument, and I went, you know what? I heard every word of it. I appreciate that you thought about that before you said it. You're wrong, but I do love that you put thought into what you said there in every sports.
The right argument to have there would have been no one can do it alone. Look what Jordan did without Scotty.
Oh, it did get
Doesn't make him more important. It just means Scotty was pretty important to the process.
It did get there because every LeBron Michael argument always takes the same trajectory of, oh, Michael didn't win anything without Scotty. Okay, but LeBron didn't win anything without help either. But but he got to a finals one time. The East was terrible.
He did.
I mean, yes,
I do give him credit for getting Zydrunas Ilgauskas to the finals.
And Larry Hughes.
And Drew Gooden.
I will say that is a great way if you're ever tried to win a beer in a bar. Hey, who was the worst second player on an NBA Finals team in NBA history? That answer is Larry Hughes, and it is not debatable. There's no argument. That's like saying today's Monday. No, it is actually Monday. I can tangibly prove it. There is no argument here. It is Larry Hughes. Now, as for the question that was asked, where does LeBron sign? Over the holiday weekend, Rich Paul basically said, we've narrowed it down to all of the good teams. Thank you for that. And then he did his Mr. Wizard spreadsheet of all the things that would be beneficial to different teams and where he could go. And if you really listen to what he said, he kind of tipped off where he's going to go. Because it was waxing poetic about a few of these teams. And, well, I would have gone to the Knicks, but they've already won a title, so he did that with a handful of teams. I think it's really down to, I would say Denver's probably the dark horse. They're probably the least likely, but might be the most entertaining. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably down to Golden State, who I think will be the eventual winner. If for nothing else, just because LeBron wants to play golf, LeBron wants to be able to get home. Minnesota, I mean, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. Minnesota is not, that is not fun travel. If you're talking about I don't care how much money you've got. If you're talking about being able to be on the coast on off days, Philadelphia is out, Minneapolis is out, because it just doesn't make any sense. Now, maybe the pull of Cleveland is enough for him to get past that. I don't think that would be fun to watch. I don't really want to see LeBron James standing in the corner begging for the ball while Donovan Mitchell and James Harden run into big guys down low. That doesn't feel like a lot of fun to me. I think it will probably be Golden State. As for can he get a ring? Let me answer that one for you. Unless he signs with Philadelphia, no. Because none of these teams are good enough. Golden State will be lucky with LeBron to have home court in the first round. I mean, because you look at the West is evil. Denver is the team nobody ever remembers, and maybe I'm a little biased because I like Denver, but they're the 3 out there now? Maybe the 4?
Maybe the 4.
Because you got Oklahoma City, who to me is the no doubt one.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's up there really high.
San
Antonio's up there really high. As long as they've got Victor Wembanyama and that outrageous cast of characters. But, I mean, then you got Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas has added pieces. I know they're not up there yet, but Cooper Flagg's going to be a dude in very short order. I think Portland's considerably better. You mentioned Denver. The Lakers are not going to be a pushover. I will say what they started with to what they got to, not real sure I get that. Although I did just see Walker Kessler got engaged over the weekend. Did you know his fiance was was Miss America in 2025?
I did not.
Here's what I can say. Walker Kessler, I say this about a lot of people, myself included. Coffee's for closers. And, sir, how would you like yours? 2 creams? I'll go get it for you. Because you're doing something right, buddy boy. Between $120 million, 4 first-round picks to get the trade, and you just got engaged to a Miss America. Has anybody had a better week than Walker Kessler?
No. Maybe Fallorin Balogun.
I don't even think he did.
Follerin Balogun? Yeah, Follerin.
Whichever way. I think Walker.
I like Fallorin Balogun because it kind of rhymes.
I think winner of the weekend is definitely Walker Kessler. But so the answer for me is unless LeBron is just completely willing to throw the money out the window, go to I'm here only for a ring, and he doesn't care about any of the things that we've heard throughout this entire process. I mean, him and Golden State, you're lucky to be the 6th. I mean, and that's as nice as I can be. You're lucky if you're the 6th. The Miami Heat, maybe you can get home court. But
I question why LeBron would want to do the rocking chair tour with Steph.
Well, they're close.
I mean, Steph's at the door, right? He's there as well.
I mean, look, Steph played against me, so he ain't got long.
Official. Yeah, like it's not officially official that he's going to be retiring, but why would you want to share the spotlight? I don't really get that, especially if you're not going to be a winner. Now, on the other hand, if he figured out a way to get back to Cleveland, I mean, that's a team that's got a shot to win the East. They don't have to give up anything to get him.
I mean, look, my stance on Steph is very simple. He and I played against each other. I slipped on a can at a 4th of July party and spent the next afternoon on WebMD. So, yes, Steph Curry he might not be on 18, but he's tapping in on 17.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more what LeBron wants just doesn't exist. He wants to have a place where he can have his life the way he wants to have his life and chase a ring. And the problem is right now that doesn't exist. Miami, he could coexist with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sure, those two are not enough to beat any of these teams. There's not the way they're built, because virtually every one of these teams was awful. Oklahoma City was awful. San Antonio was awful. Denver was awful a long time ago. They've just kind of drafted well. Philadelphia was bad for a while, and they've built these rosters, and now it's not, hey, is there a Scotty to your Michael? Now it's Ron Harper's not good enough to be your 4 anymore. Horace Grant's not good enough to be your 3. Now you got to have 3 of those. And if you don't, you're kind of up a creek, because Philadelphia's got 4. Now, one of them works less than most politicians in Joel Embiid that plays 30 games a year. I'm not sure I care. As long as I can have him pseudo-right to play 5 games of a 7-game series, I'm good. I'll tell you point blank I'm not going to play him. Game 3, Game 5, I'm not playing Joel Embiid because I don't think I have to. I think I can beat you with a specific game script without him. And I don't see a landing spot like that for LeBron. But I would say did you ever give a pick on where you think he actually goes?
I want to say Cleveland.
That's the one I hate the most. Not because I don't think they're a good team, but just the way that team's laid out, that has Bad News Bears written all over it.
Oh yeah, it's the whole, there's only one ball. Right, and there's
only one ball, and you have James Harden who is occupying that ball from time to time, which means there's not even really one ball. It's about 3/4 of one because you're never going to see it.
Right.
And I did notice
the personalities don't really mesh well there, but I I foresee there's going to be some storybook ending here, but I don't know what it is. It's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be he goes and shares the spotlight in Golden State, or he ends up going back to Cleveland to have the hometown ending, and maybe they can win the East. Or
and I'm for me in the East, in Cleveland, you're probably the 3. Miami, you're the 4 or the 5. I just don't see it. I see this ending, and I made this comp last week. I see this ending, ironically enough, the same way that Laker team did, where they tried to build it up with Kobe and Shaq because those two were fighting with each other. We knew we were coming towards the end because they were not going to coexist forever. And you threw in Gary Payton and you threw in Karl Malone, and it worked for a while. And then you got to that Pistons team, the faceless Pistons team with Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups, and they beat you to death. I remember it well. And I think that's your high side. Your low side, you go 42-40 and get knocked out in the play-in tournament. And that's what I'm really afraid of. Is that that's how this ends. Because we have this romanticized vision of how these things end. And more often than not, you have Gary Payton with the Lakers, you have Joe Montana with the Chiefs, and even if it was good, it still didn't end well. Because that's how it goes, because it's not Disney. Facts don't care about your feelings. Most of these guys that try to have that last ride, they don't. They have a last ride. It's clunky. They run out of gas 7 miles short of where they're trying to get to, and they wind up having to hoof it down the interstate.
Right. Like, how many stories do we have in NBA history of Elways, right? Like, dudes that went out on top. Tim Duncan?
Very few.
I think that's it.
Duncan's one that I thought of. Ray Allen went out pretty high.
True.
Big shot Bob Orry, but then again, when you win 14 rings, it's kind of hard not to go out on top. He played in less seasons that he didn't win a ring than seasons that he did. So it's a big story because he's a big name. At this point, I would say he's the 25th best player in the league, and it's not going to fit everywhere. What is going to fit everywhere, at least in this show? Your calls, your texts. Text line's open, 864-777-9593. Call-in line's open, 864-240-5480, and we appreciate the patience of this caller who has hung on. Caller, who's this? Oh, maybe they didn't hang on. Nope.
Doesn't look like it.
It does not look like it. Caller, whoever you were, call us back. We'll throw you right on the air. That is something I will warn you of. With calls, I can only barely hear Trey. We're trying to figure those things out, but that was on me. So call back. We'll get you right on the air here in the Sportsocracy on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. Brought to you by Ingles Markets. Find them online, ingles-markets.com. Schedule your curbside pickup. A lot of us, we work, need just to have the groceries put in the car. And you can do that with Ingles. Find them online, ingles-markets.com. Schedule your curbside today. We'll be back after this commercial break with more in the Sportsocracy from Fox Sports Upstate.
DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, South Carolina, win or go home. That's it. That's a knockout round, and DraftKings has you.
Sorry, I have to pull myself down because I've got you maxed out, and you guys are still like the Zoom only comes in so loud.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to find a way around this. We knew that eventually we would have this week, and this week's so disjointed. So the reason we're doing it this way is because we spend so much of the football season with him in one town and me in another.
Yeah.
That we needed to know. We needed this day, and now we've got. We're off 2 times this week?
Is it 2 times?
I think it's.
I don't know, something like that.
Tank and I did this morning, and I'm not going to lie to you, he confused me. Because
it's confusing.
We don't have an ESPN show one day, but we do have a Fox show. We don't have a Fox show one day, but we do have an ESPN show. So
okay, gotcha.
I got confused as to which one was which. So we always knew this was coming, but it was way better to do it in July than it was to try to figure this out while we're at the Hall of Fame game or wherever else we are.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. You've got Patrick and Bill on the text line
10-4
for when we come back. But yeah, I'm trying to, and as far as I can bring the phone line up a little bit too if I need to. I wasn't sure how loud Rocky was.
Rocky was great.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just trying to balance all the levels.
Rocky was great. The only thing, sometimes when you speak to me, like I'll hear you, but I can tell you hit the button and then started talking and it didn't pick you up at first, and I can't always tell what you're saying.
Oh, gotcha.
So like right there, you hit a max out right there. So I heard the first like absolute 10th of a second of that, and then you went completely silent.
Really?
Yeah, there's a rev limiter in the. I
guess is that a little bit better?
I mean, it's. I heard all of that.
Okay. Because when we're on the air, I just keep my mic on. I typically don't flip it on and off.
Okay. Yeah, it could just be.
I had it off. Like I said, I texted you. Mitch walked in during that last segment, and he was talking. So, but
he does.
So I had my mic off then. But outside of that, I usually keep it on.
All right.
We got about a minute left on this break.
10-4.
And then you can take this up to 55.50. Do you need me to count? No, 54.50. That's right. There's a 210 on the end of that.
Nope. I got a clock right beside me.
Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. All right.
54.50?
Yeah, sorry, 54.50, because I forget you put a 210 there at the very end that we're stacking.
Yeah, they're supposed to put
hold on.
They're supposed to put things in there, but whether they do
5.5, 540. Give me a second, I'll do some math.
You're good, bro.
I forgot the breaks are a little bit different here. Let's do 54.20.
54.20.
Yeah.
10.
I know it's an odd time.
Low to mid 90s. This report is sponsored by SC Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, over $9.4 billion in lottery proceeds have been appropriated to benefit educational causes in South Carolina, like scholarships, school buses, and technology initiatives? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
You're back in the Sportsocracy here, 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. He's Tank Spencer. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. Coming to you live from the Ingles studios. We're not actually live. Trey is. We are live. We're just not there.
We're live.
Tank's on one side of Asheville. I'm on the other. There is an absolute cyclone outside, and we are sorting through all the things for the football season. We are in a lot of different places over the course of the season, and this is as good a time as any to announce our fall tailgate spectacular. We do this every year, and this year we get to span it across Greenville and Asheville. Our fall tailgate tour release date is July the 24th. We will announce all of the places that we are going, and it's well-timed because that is 2 weeks before the first date, which is we will be live on site for the Hall of Fame game, Canton, Ohio, the induction of Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald. This is a stacked class. And we weren't missing the Hall of Fame. We did it a couple years ago for the first time. And so this year we will be doing the entire week. I don't know what day Tank's coming in. We haven't figured that one out yet. He has other responsibilities that we do have to work around sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Me on the
all
other
my fault.
No, it's not. No, it's not your fault at all. It's actually mine because I'm the idiot that every year goes, "Hey, you know how we did 70 dates last year? Let's do 130 this year." How does that sound?
Yes.
Because now
at the end of every tour, he looks at me and goes, "You know what? Next year, don't let me do so many things. Don't let me go so many places."
We've done that every year, and it's always the same day. The last day of the NFL draft.
And now Jeremy said, well, maybe I don't even have to have a house. Maybe I could just stay on the road all the time.
Live in the van, yeah.
Look.
He's going to live in a van.
Oh, no, Trey, you haven't even heard this. Now.
Oh, what do you change now?
The existing van is, I need a bigger. I need an actual RV that we're going to deck out with the logos, and Amy and I are just going to live in it and do shows from all over the country. I told Tank this idea on Thursday, and I said, I'm going to pitch this to my wife tonight. Tank's known my wife literally as long as I have. He met her 3 days after I did.
Oh, wow.
And he has told me routinely, you be good to that woman because no one else will have you, and she does it by choice. She is a saint, and she is beautiful. So you really make sure you take care of her. And what he thought was I was going to opine this, and she was going to say, for lack of a better word, have you lost your mind? That's not exactly how it went.
It's not how it went.
And we started talking about packing our house up in Asheville and buying an RV and traveling all over the country and going to the biggest games and have a grassroots sports campaign. And she went, I swear to you, this is her response. She kind of threw her hands up. She said, I can work from anywhere and I love to travel. Let's roll. I didn't see that coming. I got way less opposition to that than I thought I would. She started talking about putting the house in pods, and we'll have different pods in different places, and you just pick up clothes and just move around. And I was I went, first of all, the logistics of that made my brain bleed. So that's going to be on you. I will just find the van, the big bus, and hopefully someone will at some point teach me how to drive it, because I don't know how.
Well, I mean, it is a little bit different, but not completely different than driving a big old truck.
Yeah, I mean, I want one. I want a motor coach. Like I want the driver's cabs up front, the TV's in the back. Let's just pull off and find an RV park, and load her up and roll. That's what I want.
Yeah, for a man who hates to drive, that's a great plan.
Look, okay, if you're gonna throw out facts, no, facts don't care about your feelings. Okay, I got a feeling that this is gonna be fun, and it may be insane. I don't know.
It could be. It could be. I mean, we know, or at least I know, this was the original dream, and I hope you get to live it.
Well, it's not so much that it was the original dream.
This was the first tour idea that we ever had. If you'll remember back to the old studio in Woodfin.
Yeah, but I very quickly got told by RV companies, nobody knows who the hell you are. So no, we won't give you a gigantic house on wheels because no one knows who you are. But now we have a lot of friends between Asheville and Greenville, Charlotte and Washington, D.C., and all the other places that we do things. And now, the dream's not crazy now.
That's right. That's right.
I don't like how you keep, you're not disagreeing with me per se, but you do have this tenor of, there's going to come a day that I told you that I was skeptical.
Well, I mean, that's typically my MO anyway. Sure, I mean, I will totally agree with you that the Kansas City Chiefs could win the Super Bowl this year and just bounce right back to glory. However, there are about 5 other teams in the NFL that are going to have something to say about that, and I'm not too sure. I like to keep my options open.
Look. In this relationship of radio partnery, there's a realist and there's a dreamer, and not to channel my inner 70s 80s kid, but I'm a dreamer, and I think living the dream 100% on the road, that's the next iteration.
Yes.
I showed him the first 3 weeks today. He had not seen the schedule. So as we were getting ready for the show, I showed him the first 3 weeks and went, we're still kind of filling in some things. We've got, we're working on a documentary. There's a lot of things that are happening this year. And he looked at the first 3 weeks and he went, nope, and walked out the door. Didn't say a thing. Just stared right at it and went, I hate you. Out he went. I will talk to you in 2 hours. I'm going to have a sandwich. I'm going to yell, and then we'll be fine.
It's a lot, but love being on the ride.
It is a fun time, and we appreciate all you for being on the fun time as well. Text line, we've got a couple texts there, 864-777-9593. You can also hit us on the call-in line, 864-240-5480. First one's from NFL Draft Yoda. He said, can LeBron go full heel and just go to the Boston Celtics? At this point, why would you want to? So, like Jason Tatum, who I could see those two having a functional relationship with each other. But, I mean, how do you get out of the East with that team? I mean, you gave up Jaylen Brown for a bag of basketballs. So, I mean, if I'm LeBron, that's not where – I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. That's not where I'm tying the end of my career.
No, I don't feel like they have a great shot at winning anything. I mean, how does that work? Does he play the point and we move Jason Tatum – just Jason Tatum's on a wing and Paul George is on a wing?
He's going to play point forward at best because he's a good passer. He's just not athletic enough to be the real point of the spear. And so that will be a bit of a problem for him no matter where he goes, is that he's going to have a specific roster build to do what it is that he can physically do at this point. And I don't know how many of those there are left. We got an hour to go here in the Sportsocracy 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate, brought to you by Ingles Markets. We're coming back right after this.
This is 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate Traffic.
State travel in the middle of rush hour is slow in the familiar spots. 85 southbound coming out of Spartanburg from 101 down to Pelham Road. 85 north from Woodruff Road.
All right, and this goes all the way to the top.
But at least we are still accident-free.
All right, be right back.
We're doing it well here in the middle of rush hour. Let's keep doing it. That's your latest check of time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric.
Your home deserves dependable care. From plumbing and HVAC to electrical and generators, Corley handles it all with financing options available to make comfort easier. Trust Corley.
Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric.
Your one stop for advertising.
I wonder if you're hearing me get cut off because I'm technically logged in as you, and I wonder if it's fighting to feed.
Might be. Are you talking about on the Zoom itself?
For you, like, yeah, how you're talking about how, like, it seems like my mic's cutting on or all that. Like, I wonder if it's because it's trying to fight to pull two Jeremy Greenes.
It could. So I'll tell you, tomorrow, so we had 5 ideas of how this could work.
Yeah.
This was one. The first one didn't work because you got to hear the remix of me. And I don't know how to fix that. So we have another idea for tomorrow that I think probably has the best chance of working.
Okay.
If it doesn't, I'll log me because I have 2 Zoom accounts.
Oh, okay.
So I can run the business one here, and you've got the one down there, and that could, in theory, work.
Okay.
We're when we get to the fall, you've already seen some of it because you saw the back end of last year.
Oh yeah.
I have never seen a harebrained idea that I'm not fond of. So we are stress testing this as hard as we can to figure out what's doable and what's not doable. Because I have a show scheduled where I do it from the inside of a NASCAR before this year is up.
Huh. Okay, we'll make it work.
Sure.
And this is why we throw things against the wall and see what sticks in July.
Can't guarantee the audio will be anything good, but I'll get you connected.
Oh, the audio? I'll put on a helmet if I have to. Because they have bent over backwards to make this happen. It was supposed to happen last year. And that was the week of – you remember that ice storm we got stuck in Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
It was supposed to be that week. We were going to do it that Monday, and then we got snowed in the house. And then we had to get out. So we have recycled the idea to we're going to make it happen this year.
Okay. Hey, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
Oh, by the way, when you come back with whether it's the rejoiners or the open,
yes,
that computer's not mapped exactly right. Me and Andrew can fix it next week. Just tell me when to fire off because I'm not hearing any of that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it comes in really garbled for some reason. I think there's a mapping issue on that computer, but it can be rectified.
That's fine. I can let you know. We can do that. Do it that way. Sorry, I'm sitting here trying to figure out
how these breaks are all timing out because they're just wrong.
And I mean, I told him last week, you've got to stop doing that.
Oh, I mean, I told Aaron when I was on the phone with him, I was like, because I had to call him. Because remember when you were standing there at the end of the show last week and it took control from me, it just swiped it away. And then apparently we got a dead air call. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, I can't do anything.
Nope.
So I was talking to Aaron about it and I was like, but I just sat here and watched. It counted down like it did last week with 30 seconds left in the break and then just kept going for another 15, 20 seconds. So unless I'm just reading something way wrong or don't know how to read this clock, and we have phantom spots that are just playing in the spot block.
Well, I mean, and I'm not trying to, swing any genitalia here, but I'm the one that set the clock, and it ain't been right one time. So I told him, I was like, you've got to stop doing this because there's nothing I can do about it. You're loading it up, and then we have no control. Yeah, one day that's going to happen, and that break's going to fire, and it's going to run until 6:04.
Uh-huh.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Right. It said 2 minutes for me.
I will throw my hands up and go, I go out at 57.50. If we have to stack a break, we go out at 54.50 or 54.20, one or the other. Now, they're kind of feeling things out too, which is fine. That's why I haven't said anything. We'll get it done.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out. It's just,
but there's coming.
I can tell Aaron too is not happy with the whole with Sound Plus.
No, because it's not at all what we were told it would be.
Oh, it is so much
easier. Figured.
Well, I mean, because for music shows, it's one thing. For us, it's completely different.
Uh-huh.
And we said it was going to be completely different. And they said, no, we worked all this out. And it'll just, no. And it knows.
It just magically works.
How long we got?
Play the Fox Sports Update now.
10-4.
The Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles. Here's Isaac Lowenkron.
In the round of 16 at the World Cup, Spain has a 1-0 lead over Portugal in the final moments of second half stoppage time.
No, they don't.
Spain scored its goal in the first minute of second half stoppage time on Fox. Lovely ball through.
Isaac, buddy, I don't mean to second guess you, but that game's been over for an hour.
The winner faces either Team USA or Belgium in the quarterfinals. FIFA today dismissed Belgium's appeal over the lifting of U.S. star Folarin Balogun's suspension for the match tonight of the round of 16 in Seattle. FIFA said the appeal was admissible because Belgium, quote, is not a party to the proceedings, unquote. Again, right now, Spain leads Portugal 1-0, final moments of second half stoppage time.
Ooh, Tank, let's play a fun game.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy.
Brought to you a lot by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
What? Wait, you don't like peanut butter and jelly?
It's the year of the quarterback. Trip and May over here.
We have a super chat.
And then he set the freaking house on fire.
You make my brain hurt sometimes.
Now, you can't say the wordy dirds on the radio bot.
We're all the way down the rabbit hole now. My golly. Being a Jets fan, toxic. It's a football Friday.
And for the 2027 mock draft, the Panthers take.
Tank needed our help to download Instagram. First reel he ever posted. 19 million views.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We'll be back right after this.
My penance in hell is going to be following Tank Spencer around with a camera.
You can find us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Catch us on YouTube.
We have breaking news. Tank, hit the
10 seconds.
Oh, it's a great day to be alive, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. I lived in Greenville for a couple years. Absolutely loved it.
Mike's hot.
You're live here in the Sportsocracy, Hour 2 on Fox Sports Upstate, 104.9, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Find them online, ingles-markets.com. Ingles Markets, low prices, love the savings. It's a busy day. Spain now awaiting what we hope will be a U.S. victory this evening.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. I don't even want to put negative out into the ether that we could win. It feels like the soccer gods are on our side with our guy getting to play tonight, Balogun. He will be in tonight, The appeal did not work. You can deduce your own reasons as to why. We don't do politics here outside of a few jokes, so we'll see Tank with the.
I have an idea.
I
have an idea. Has anybody even thought about this possible prospect that, after a couple of days of thinking about it and everybody losing their minds over the fact that Fallorin or Florin or whatever his name is got hosed on the red card, did it ever occur to anybody that maybe FIFA and the brain trust there thought it may not be a good idea to screw the home country when they're trying to grow the sport here more than anywhere else in the world? This is the only spot in the world where this sport is not a thing.
I disagree. It's definitely a thing. It's just not a thing like it is in other places.
Most of us don't care. Most of us don't watch soccer. Most Americans do not care. So every time you hear one of these arguments come up of nobody watches soccer. Yeah, well, 35 billion people watch. Well, yeah, but none of them are in America. It's by far not the most popular sport in America, and it's trying to be, but it's got a long way to go. Maybe the best thing for soccer, popularity-wise, in America is not to screw the home country.
And for the United States to get into the round of 8, take on Spain, whatever happens from there happens. But here's what I have learned about Americans. When we can bathe in the flag, especially a couple days after the 4th of July, we'll do it. I've had 4 separate people ask me today if I wanted to go watch the World Cup somewhere out in the public tonight. Can't tell you that I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I'm very tired. It was a very aggressive weekend. My wife's birthday is the same day as America's birthday, and we kept the roads hot this weekend. So there's part of me that just wants to sit on my couch, get loud, yell at the television, act like it's a September, and I'm watching a game with the New York Jets, or the Florida State Seminoles, or West Virginia. West Virginia, who's had a bit of a rough day today, as has Kentucky and Cincinnati and all the other places. Tank, you brought the story up to me earlier today that Kirk Risa, he did stuff. If you don't know that name, he played at Kentucky, he played at Arizona, West Virginia, and last year he played at Cincinnati. And basically, he's a con man, is what it sounds like. It sounds like he was playing a lot of different roles. He defrauded people out of $2.2 million. Some of it was for cancer treatments for his mother, who was never sick, to the best anyone can tell. He played several different parts in this. It is a wild read. I clicked on this story because I know the name. Obviously, he played at West Virginia. I clicked on the name, and I saw a $2.2 million fraud scam, and I immediately gambling.
Yep.
He did something with gambling. Then I read the story and went, nope, that's actually substantially worse.
Nope. Here's part of the article. By posing as his mother in another scheme, he allegedly told one victim that he needed money to, quote, save the family's farm. So he was throwing a little voice acting in there, playing like he was the woman. He also allegedly acted as a woman named Irene to sign a fraudulent promise to repay one of the victims $100,000 by a February deadline, which of course never came to fruition. It was a 6-year scheme where he defrauded people out of $2.2 million. And by all accounts, on my side, I don't ever foresee him being able to raise $2.2 million with a basketball career. So, don't know where that leaves him, but I'm pretty sure it's going to leave him in jail.
I was about to say, I can get to the end of this. I can 100% get to the end of this. It's just a wild story. It seems like we're having more and more of these stories that just go, how is that even possible? Gambling schemes, it's a different world. That is one thing about the world being as connected as it is it is easier to do good in this world. It is also substantially easier to do bad in this world.
Yes.
It's just unfortunate. It's an unfortunate thing that I hate it for everyone involved. I would love to tell you I'm surprised. I'm not. At this point, I don't think anything can surprise me. Just what we have gone through in the last 10 years of different things in sports. I was thinking about this earlier today. If you had been in a coma for the last 10 years, or you were stranded on a desert island, can you name me one sport that's even in the ballpark of what it was 10 years ago? It's all different.
No.
The college landscape's not even
For a
close.
second. I was going to say hockey there for a second, but it's much bigger now than it was 10 years ago.
It is, and it's got more of a footprint here in the United States. Alex Sanders said baseball. I disagree, and you want me to? And I'll prove it to you really quickly. Name every baseball player you know off the top of your head. Now, take that in the list of names. Name me every one of them that could walk through the front door of your house right now that you know who they are. There was a time Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and Mark McGwire were 3 of the 10 most famous athletes in this country. And it may have even been higher than that. For a summer, they were 1. Now, the pitch clock helps. They just came out with the all-star rosters. I do this for a living. I didn't know half of them. These guys that play for the Reds or play for the A's or one of these small market teams that's never on television now because everything's in a regional, it's all regional broadcast. So if it's not the Atlanta Braves or the Los Angeles Dodgers, you have about as good of a chance of finding one of those games on randomly as you have of finding a hockey game. 10 years ago, that would have been an insane thing to say off the top of your head. So Sanders responded to me in the chat, and he said, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Paul Skeens. Okay, that's 4. That's 4 in a sport with 30 teams. How many? Now let me do the same thing with college football, not the NFL. How many college football players would you know on site? Because I promise you it's more than baseball. I agree with the 4 names you said. The problem is that 10 years ago, that list would have been 50 deep. Now it's 4. Because baseball stopped making stars. Now, somebody's probably thinking, what do these two things have to do with each other? This is where I'm looking at what we've done in the World Cup, going, we have a chance to actually fix this. Because, Tank, you've said several things to me over the course of the World Cup of, well, this is why Americans don't care about soccer.
Yes.
Everything to me that you have said, and this is me being, I would say I'm more open-minded now than I was 10 years ago. But at the same time, it's harder to get my attention. I'm an older guy. I'm getting to a point where I've, as Colin Cowherd used to say, I'm pruning the sports tree. Baseball got pruned years ago. You haven't done a thing in baseball in the last 10 years at the major league level that is required to tell the story of sports. I would make the argument, outside of the Cubs World Series and the Boston Red Sox first one to break the curse, you haven't done anything that is necessary to tell the story of sports since Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds.
This is the 10th year anniversary of the Cubs World Series, by the way.
10 years ago. Almost like I did that on purpose.
Move your needle? Does a pitch clock not move your needle? That's not exciting?
Do you need it to tell the story of sports?
No.
No.
I mean, you speed up the story of sports there in baseball.
Well, I mean, that's because the old story of sports was, hey, we're going to go catch a ball game. See you, Ma. We might be back tonight. We might be back on Tuesday because this could take 43 years. You don't, and that's where I'm getting, is I had a professor in college years ago. It's one of the smartest things anybody's ever said to me. And as I say it, I've told Tank this, Trey, this will be a new theory to you.
Okay.
Basically what the professor told me, it was his theory was the theory of the music video. So back when music videos started, They were often 4.5 to 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
That was in the 80s. Every 20 years, your attention span gets cut in half. I was told this in 2006. We're just over 20 years in at that point, and now look at what happened to music videos. Now they don't air the entire video, and even when they do, they're 3.5 minutes long. How much of it are you seeing? 2.5 minutes. Because over the course of 20 years, your attention span got cut in half. Now we're in 2026, literally 20 years later. Hey, how long's the average TikTok?
Like a minute?
About a minute. It's about a minute. You can go to a minute. You can go to 90 seconds, I think, and it still wind up in the same algorithms and all the things. Do the math. Started at 5, went to 2.5, now it's to a minute in 40 years. What is that really conducive to, sports-wise? It's really conducive to the NFL. It's really conducive to college football. It's really conducive to hockey because somebody could lose 4 teeth at any point in a game of hockey. Think about all the sports that are quick. Soccer's not quick. Now, it can accelerate, and you watch a game like Mexico and England, which to me was absolute cinema. That you can get us on board with. Yes, you have to bathe in the flag, but you have matches like that you see because you are watching the Americans. That can get you into the sport. Baseball doesn't have that. You have one thing that's popular because it's fast, the home run derby. One problem. You told me that all of the guys that hit home runs when I was a kid, they were all cheaters. They were bad. Keep them out of the Hall of Fame. Evil. Okay, well, I'm a 40-year-old guy. I grew up watching Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco, on and on down the line. None of those guys got their day in Canton. None of those guys are being brought out on fields for you to hit my emotional button for that 1 minute TikTok to go, hey, look, Roger Clemens is out on the field. That guy that I grew up watching, that guy that I grew up trying to pitch like. You did away with that for 20 years. How did you expect to build stars? The way you build stars in sports has always been the same way, by running a pick play on the previous generation. It's the only way to do it. You cannot do it any other way. I'm looking at the NBA right now. Hey, the younger group of stars, outside of Cooper Flagg and Victor Wembanyama, how many can you name that are under 25 years old? We just had 4 at the top of the NBA draft that were elite prospects, according to every friend that I have in the NBA draft game. Average fan couldn't tell you what they look like because they watched them in March. And then you take those 4, DeBonsa didn't last long in March. Darren Peterson didn't last long in March. Caleb Wilson didn't even make it to March because he was already hurt. Cameron Boozer, that was the one that made it deep into the second weekend. You never had a chance to build the star. Without the star, we don't care. And that's the problem with U.S. soccer. It's not the game. Everybody's focused on, well, the 45 minutes halves is confusing. If you want to know, you'll figure it out. Trust me.
Yeah.
Find somebody from another country that doesn't know anything about American football and try to explain it to them and realize how many things you have to tell them to get them on board with it. Soccer is significantly easier. Significantly. Yes, there's some nuanced rules, and no, you don't always know the penalties and the cards and all those things because they're up to interpretation. It's not a hard sport to understand. The problem is, and Tank actually did this inadvertently earlier today, you started mentioning Alexi Lawless. Why did you say that name? Because they had that run. They had that run where this mattered, and he was a focal part of that team. So was Landon Donovan. This team has been a lot of fun. How many of these guys I'm going to remember 3 years from now? That's debatable. Trey has been more of a locked in on the World Cup. How many of these guys do you think you'll remember 3 years from now?
Ooh, remember 3 years from now. I feel like I'd remember Christian Pulisic and obviously the controversy surrounding Flo Balogun. Like that's hard to forget. Then you start getting in there. I'm trying to think of who else is on this team that I could think of. Like McKinney. I don't know that I'll necessarily remember McKinney down the line. Who else you got there? Even right now, I'm struggling to think of the actual names of the players that are on there. I look at them, I see them running around. I know them when it pops, like when it cuts to them down there on the pitch, and it's like, oh yeah, it's that guy. He's got his hair spray painted. Like, I know him, but like, do I know his name outside of Pulisic and Flo Balogun? Not really, mostly because they're the ones that you hear about touching the ball, going out there and striking a goal.
That's where, to me, U.S. soccer has an opportunity here. We have bathed this in the flag, even if they lose tonight, which I hope they don't. I don't think they will. To say I'm an expert in that would be a lie. If they lose tonight, can you carry the momentum of what has happened in bars, in restaurants, in gathering places all around this country? How do you take the momentum and make this better 4 years from now? And it's very simple. You have to find the guy. There was a time it was supposed to be Freddie Adu. I remember it well. He and I are virtually the same age. I remember this kid when I was in high school, and he was the next great player in soccer, and then it never panned out. You've got to find one of those where we're not talking about Neymar, we're not talking about Ronaldo, we're not talking about Lionel Messi. We've got to have one of those. That's how American soccer can become a thing. When Patrick Mahomes winning helps. But look, there's I don't even know how many countries there are in the world. It changes. Some of them change names. I swear to God, some of them are like Prince, where I think one of them was a symbol at one point, and now I don't know what to call them, and I don't know how to pronounce it. There's only one winner every year. To expect us to win is too high of a bar. You know it's not too high of a bar to expect? One Jamar Chase. You give me one Jamar Chase that chooses soccer instead of the NFL and becomes a star, and watch how different your sport is 4 years from now when we do this again. Call-in line's open, 864-240-5480, and we have a caller on said line. Caller, who's this?
Jeremy, Trey, Tank. What's going on, fellas?
He is the vending machine king. He is one of our favorites. He is Chad.
Oh, Jeremy, man, I got a question for you, man. You're talking. Man,
Trey, can you say that back to me? He cut out right there. His cell phone signal cut out right in the middle of that.
Let me translate, Chad. He said, how big of a blunt was that fella smoking at your house that he said LeBron was better than Jordan?
Oh, that's what I thought he said, but I wasn't positive, and I went, if I answer that the way I heard it, and I'm wrong, we're going to go down a path. So look, the guy gave a decent enough explanation. To me, I think that's one of the beauties of sports is that you can back up some wild things that if you didn't see it. I mean, look, if all you saw were the 96, 97, 98 version of the Bulls and how influential Scottie Pippen was to that, I still don't agree with the argument, but I understand how you got there. That's the beauty of this. But then you forget, well, I mean, Jordan was 38 years old by the end of that. He was also the catalyst that won all three of those titles because Scottie had the reins handed to him, and it wasn't enough. Yes, they were the one seed in the East, but when Michael came back, they got bounced.
Yep, right. That's right. Yeah, I don't flip, man. I'll die on that sword, man. Jordan's always the GOAT. LeBron is nowhere near Jordan, man. I'll always say that. But, I mean, I grew up watching Jordan, I'm just old Gen Xer.
Yeah, the gens and the millennials. I got called a millennial the other day, and I was ready to fight somebody, and then my wife pulled it up on her phone, and she said, "You were born here." And there was a little line underneath it that said millennial, and I went, I don't like that. I don't think I qualify. I'm you know what, Gen X. I'm going with the Gen Xers. You can have the millennials. You trade me to the Gen Xers.
Man, we'll take you, Jeremy. You in the club, man. Well, you officially a Gen Xer.
I have a bit of an old soul, and not as old as Tank. Tank's nobody knows this. Tank's actually 104 years old.
Yeah, some people try to call me a millennial. I'm actually a boomer.
Tank is a boomer, but Tank was born in 1946. He's aging so well, but everything he says sounds like he's 85 years old.
Need to get off my lawn, guy.
He's, the funny thing about where we're at in sports today is, and I really want Chad's opinion on this. Because he called in on Michael Jordan, and I did all of this on purpose because I knew I was building to this thing with soccer. I've been so locked in. I've been so locked in on this, but I can't find anything. And I'm hoping it happens tonight. Maybe it's a penalty kicks or something, but there's a moment that I can look back on and go, that's what I'm going to remember when I'm 60. When we do this 4 years from now, I'm going to remember how that felt. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. And I really don't want it to be a ruling from the FIFA president on a player whose name I had never heard until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I never even heard of that guy until he's been in the news.
Chad, in terms of you're a lifer sports fan just like we are. And I want the first one that comes to your mind. What was the first moment in sports that gave you an emotion that you have remembered your entire life? It can be something with your team. It can be something with it doesn't matter. It can be any sport. It doesn't matter. What's the first one you went, oh, sports is different?
Well, I will say the championship game that Clemson beat Nebraska, man. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and that's when I really started liking football, man. Everybody knew, and on TV, they Clemson Tiger Paws on them, you know. And man, that was like the first football game I remember watching, man. And since then, I've been a fan of football ever since, and a diehard Tiger fan. I believe it'll be that championship game, man.
And that was a perfect example. I love that worked exactly how I wanted it to, because Chad's a dead in the wool Clemson Tiger fan. He bleeds Clemson purple and orange because he has that tie. One of the things that soccer has always lost. It's one of the things that the NBA lost. There was an attachment to LeBron. There was an attachment to Kobe. There was an attachment to Michael Jordan. Those are still fights that you can get in. I know, I just saw me do it yesterday. 30 years after the last time the guy played a game. We're running low on those. We're running low unless it's the team or where you're from or you were there. It's getting harder to recreate these moments because we're in a social media age where you don't miss anything. If you were in the bathroom, you will have seen the clip of what you just missed 5 times before the end of the next commercial break. There is no Franco Harris. Did he catch that? Where did the ball go? How did the camera guy lose it? I remember where I was for the Immaculate Reception. We don't have that anymore. There's 48 camera angles on everything. So now you've got to have the pull on your heartstrings, whether it's your country, whether it's your team, whether it's a player that you just absolutely love. And that's where, for me, the NBA, soccer, baseball, a lot of these sports that are either trying to reclaim what they had or are trying to claim it for the first time, that's what you've got to do. Hockey, I think, did a great job of it with Team USA. Did we know the names? Do we know who those guys play for in the NHL? Not necessarily. But then they come into the playoffs right after that happened. The names are still fresh in your mind. You see the guy on the ice and you go, hey, that was that. And if you noticed, the ratings went up. Those two things correlate with each other. I'm curious how we do it with soccer. I'm curious if there's maybe somebody's the hero tonight. Maybe it's Balogun. Who knows? You get somebody that scores that goal, and it gives us, as a country, that feeling of I'm going to remember where I was when that goal was scored forever. And if we have that, 4 years from now, soccer will have taken hold.
Now, I got another question for you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
If the U.S. loses tonight, how much of the country quits watching the World Cup? How much do the ratings fall? Or are they going to lose? Or half the country going to lose its interest?
That's
in the World Cup because the U.S. is out, or are we going to keep watching?
That's an interesting question. I mean, so worldwide, it doesn't matter what happens. I will say the ratings. I will say the ratings here are going to take a significant plunge. So I have the most recent ratings. So this was put out in Variety. Big surge, 24.4 million is the number that I'm seeing. That's an insane number. It's also it's about 60% of an AFC championship game, which is wild to think about when you see that number. 24.4 million English language soccer telecast viewers. That was a lot of words. Soccer, I'm going to need you to tighten that up. That's too many words for me to have to say. 24.4 million, expected to swell close to 40 once they throw in Telemundo and Peacock's numbers. I will say tonight, because that was for the Bosnia game. That one was in about the same time frame. I will say tonight probably does a sustained 30 and may peak at 50. If we win, the number will keep going up. If we lose, they'll be lucky if it hits 10. And I'm not even sure you can do 10. So, I mean, I would say half. Tank, do you agree?
I do. I
now, 10, does the World Series do a 10?
10's about where the World Series comes in. NBA Finals.
So that's a comparison.
So for a comparison, that 24.4 million on the Bosnia U.S. game is almost directly equivalent to the number that the Knicks clincher in the NBA Finals did. I think its average number was 24.5, 24.6, and that's double what the NBA's done at any point in the last 10 years. I mean, 24.4 million is huge.
The average for the World Series last year between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and the average over 7 games was 15.5 million.
And that was really
and
swayed.
Bet you soccer does not get there without us.
And
without
that was
the U.S.
And
it will not do well.
That number you said with the Dodgers was really swayed because the Dodgers were in it. The Dodgers have a huge fan base. It was really swayed because you had a Canadian team in it. The Canada historically supports teams from Canada when they get into things, whether it's a World Series or anything. Once they get into the proceedings, whether it's semifinals or anything like that, you'll get a big surge from that. And you were also really buoyed. If I remember that number correctly, I think it had stuck around 12 until Game 7. And then Game 7 was a nanners number. I want to say
it picked up in Game 4. Game 4, it went from about 11 million-ish to 14.5. And then Game 6 and 7 was just nanners. I mean, Game 7 that went all the way down to the last, play at the plate was 26.8 million people.
And that's not hard to figure out. It's urgency. The series in a Game 6, invariably, it doesn't matter how it goes, a Game 6 can always be an elimination game. And so fans will look at it and go, this could end tonight. It's a tenant problem for the NBA. It's a tenant problem for baseball. Soccer doesn't have that. Soccer doesn't have it. The NFL doesn't have it. College football doesn't have it. You got to watch every game because every game matters. If you lose a regular season game, you might not make it to the playoff. You make it to the playoff, you get beat, you go home. Those are things they can't get past. That's just the way the sport's built. I mean, I've beat that drum for years of, hey, Major League Baseball, you want to crank your ratings up in the playoffs? 3-game series in the first round, 5-game series in the second round, 7-game series in the World Series. End of it. Because then
that would be a lot better.
Then you build in the urgency.
A lot better scenario. I think NBA ought to do like 3 or 5 games in their first round too.
So when I started in this, the first beat per se that I had was covering the NBA draft, and I had NBA fans that were ready to fight me because I said the first round should be 1 game. You play 1 game. You throw everything but the kitchen sink. You play 1 game, and you play them in. I think my plan was to play 4 games a night for 4 nights in the first round. Then you go 3-game series in the second round, 5-game series in the conference finals, and then you have a 7-game series at the end. Your playoffs get condensed.
That sounds good.
It cranks up the urgency, and everything becomes must-watch because that's where so many of these things have died on the vine because we're not sitting around at home anymore. We're too mobile. We have too many things to take our attention, and you're not giving this urgency. College football has become super popular, even more so than it was, because the urgency is cranked up. And a JMU or a Tulane knows that they have a chance to get in. They know they're not going to win it, but I have a reason to be interested. And so we do it, and we do it, and we do it, and you got 5 months of where you're locked into your television. Baseball does not have that. So many of these other sports don't have it, and you're going to have to get creative to find it. Chad, speaking of getting creative, I'm going to have to get creative with some commercial breaks because I blew through 2 of them. You're in the Sportsocracy. We appreciate you, Chad. We'll be right back after this commercial break on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
104.9 Fox Sports Upstate weather.
This is WYFF News Sports.
Again.
This is Chris Justice with your forecast. The heat.
It's all good. We
I
did that thing again where I kind of forgot we have to take commercial break.
A pretty typical summertime pattern, to be honest with you. We've got afternoon thunderstorms as a possibility, but not a guarantee. There'll be one here or there, but many of us will stay dry a good bit this week. A slightly better chance for afternoon thunderstorms this weekend, but it'll still be sunny and hot in the low to mid 90s.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's Luxe Boxes. Choose the $5, $7, or $9 box. Now with new Fajita Street Chalupas. Limited time.
Tank, Sound Plus ever just randomly log you out?
I don't use Sound Plus.
Sound Plus. Here's a fun story about Sound Plus. I have a login, and it shows me the log half the time.
Well, so what happened in the middle of that segment, Sound Plus just was like, it popped up an error, and it was like, you need to log out. You're in trouble. And I was like, I'm not doing that. It'll take us off the air. And then eventually, it just forced me to log out. And so we were off the air for like a minute, maybe a minute and a half, while I fumbled around trying to put my password in, had to wait for the authenticator to come through.
Let's go.
Authenticate it, log back in, take back control of the station. I was like, what are we doing?
No one understands.
I'm just, yeah.
It's what happens when you put people in charge of radio that don't know radio. I'm better now.
Hey, we're good. Are we going to stack this break right here?
Yeah, we may as well go ahead and do that. And then you'll have, this will be, theoretically, you've got 2 minutes left on this break, I think. I don't know. It depends on what it wants to do. And a 3.5 minute break, so that you'll be back about right around 40, and then you could take that up to 50. What did we say earlier? 54:20.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll have about 14 minutes on this back end.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
In training, I've been throughout the country. I'm a
all right, so how long do I have right here?
I specialize in sports.
5 minutes.
The thing is telling me, hold on. It's hard to read too. I think that's 1:40 left on there. You're gonna have about 4 minutes here.
Okay, so I got enough time to run to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you got plenty of time.
Perfect. I'll be right back.
Yeah, me too.
ONA.com. Carolina Orthopedic and Neurosurgical Associates, Kona. Total quality care under one roof. CarolinaONA.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
Spain punches their ticket to the World Cup quarterfinals with a 1-0 win over Portugal. Mikel Merino playing the role of hero as he found the back of the net just as stoppage time began. Lovely goal, Drake. Spain has yet to allow a goal in the tournament. They'll take on the winner of tonight's match between the U.S. and Belgium in the next round.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
The Joy Law Firm Traffic Center. Injured? Just call Joy. 888-8888.
This is 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate Traffic.
Accident-free, starting to thin out a little bit now, both on and off the interstates around the upstate. We're hoping that will remain the case, kind of continue to move in that direction so we can get out.
We got a super chat coming back, too.
That's your latest check, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric.
Your home deserves dependable care. From plumbing and HVAC to electrical and generators, Corley handles it all with financing options available to make comfort easier. Trust Corley.
Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric.
I have heart failure, and being out of breath all the time was just too much.
My lower back pain was interrupting family time.
My carpal tunnel syndrome was taking me away from work. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about my symptoms.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist and discovered I had ATTRCM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
If you have heart failure and new or worsening symptoms, it could be ATTRCM. ATTRCM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart related symptoms. Talk to your cardiologist today and see what's possible. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTRCM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Celebrate America's 250th with Brantley Gilbert at Harley Davidson of Greenville, July 18th. Right now, a limited number of $59 Freedom tickets are available. Use the password America before they're gone. Get your tickets now at h-dog.com/Brantley and celebrate America in a big way.
The heat of summer is here. Call the name everyone trusts when your HVAC starts failing or stops cooling. McGee Heating and Air. When you call McGee Heating and Air, you'll speak with a real person. And for a limited time, get up to $1,200 off on a qualifying Trane system. McGee Heating and Air, your Trane comfort specialist. Provides comfort you can count on, people you can trust. McGee Heating and Air, online at McGeeHVAC.com. That's McGeeHVAC.com. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
For contesting on the station, go to 1049foxsports.com/rules.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Don't say it. They can hear you on YouTube.
My writing, speaking, or listening.
Never mind.
And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel,
Tank's never been able to say things on YouTube,
now
and
I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com.
I'm just saying maybe we should play the line.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day.
Oh, you don't listen to ROO, do you?
Ready to run. Because Grainger delivers the industrial grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly.
All right, we're about to come back.
Nothing grinds to a halt.
10-4.
Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Close.
It is closing time here in the Sportsocracy. 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. Brought to you, as always, by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Everybody eats. On your way home tonight, just stop by your local Ingles. Tell them your good friends on the radio sent you. Ingles-markets.com. Apologies for that. We ran a little long in the last segment because sometimes I forget that you have to take commercial breaks. Tank, I've watched you do this for years, and I undervalue the time management. It's important.
Every now and then you got to look at the clock.
One of the funniest days that we've ever had doing this, and I'm sure, I've been here in lovely Greenville for a while. I would wager a lot of the listeners have probably figured out that Jeremy's not always super fond of being told what to do. And so one day we had, I don't remember what it was. It doesn't really matter. And somebody came to me and they were like, well, you really got to do X. And I went, mm-mm. I went 52 minutes, and I would not shut up long enough for Tank to take a commercial break, and he is freaking out for 25 solid minutes. I wouldn't even take a breath. I looked like I was having an infarction. And when we got off the air, hit the button, there were 4 people stacked up in the hallway, and I went, best hour of radio we've ever done. I walked right by them like, hey, see? We got this. We're good.
I think you forgot to turn the cameras back on the YouTube.
I did. I've done it all day. You put it up there, you got to hit the button. We're figuring things out. We're getting ready for this tailgate tour where we're coming to your city. I don't care where your city is. It could be anywhere. And guess what? We'll be within driving distance at some point. Every coast of this great country will at some point see one of our faces, and in some cases, both. California, Texas, all of them. We're just doing it all because I'm a lunatic. There's no other real way to say it. Tank hasn't even really had a say in the scheduling. I just handed him a piece of paper and he went, okay.
Here we go.
All right. Here we
I was given a piece of paper and said, hey, circle the ones you want to go to. And I went, well, I mean, there's a lot of them on there, but I theoretically cannot be in two places at once. So
Correct.
We're going to have to get creative.
Or, and hear me out, we get a big stuffed sugar cookie and we put a tape recorder in it and put it in your chair in WWNC. How long before they notice that you're not here? It's early in the morning. People without their coffee can be duped by a lot of stuff.
That is true. I think they'll figure it out, though.
Yeah, you really are the glue that keeps much of these things together. And I know that because every time I have a problem, you're the first person I call. Hey, this just did this thing that I don't really understand. Could you possibly tell me why that is?
Gary Birch has got a great point, by the way. He said, it doesn't really matter what games I want to go to. I'll probably sleep through half of them anyway.
Tank does have this weird ability to sleep through sporting events that I've never seen. He slept through the Peach Bowl?
Really? Yes.
Slept through it.
The Arizona State Texas Peach Bowl.
The Cam Scattaboo game where Scattaboo averaged like 2 feet a carry and then randomly just turned it on and forced that game into overtime. Tank slept through 3/4 of it.
Yep. Fell asleep right after the opening kickoff and did not bat an eye until right toward the end of the game.
Fell asleep. 3 solid quarters of fans screaming in his ear, and he had a Texas fan sitting right behind him who was enjoying themselves a lot. Didn't bat an eye.
Wait, you were there?
Yeah.
Yes, we were in the stadium.
Asleep in the stadium. I thought you were
sleeping.
No.
I was sleeping in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. Not just in the stadium, in rather expensive club seats.
Okay, that's impressive. See, I pictured you at home on the couch. I was like, yeah, I get it. You get comfy. Maybe it's raining there. I don't know. You fall asleep. In the stadium's a different type of superpower.
Yeah, no, I slept through that one. I also slept through most of a Carolina Panthers game early last year, the Atlanta game.
Right. Well, with the way they've recently been playing, that is acceptable.
Yeah, but, that was like a noon game, and it was real hot. And
it was hot.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Just sleep. Just sleep right through it.
If you're still, trying to figure out exactly who are these two people that I'm listening to on my Ragey box, Tank fell asleep in the bathroom at a remote one time. That happened because I was, shaking hands, kissing babies, all the things, and I turned and I went, where did Tank go? My wife was with me. He reappeared 10 minutes later. He didn't say anything. And Amy looked at me and said, and she was trying to be so secretive about it. And I went, I'm totally saying this on the radio one day. She tapped me on the shoulder and really quietly said, I think he fell asleep in the bathroom. If not, he fell asleep somewhere else because he looked a little groggy. And I went, yep, one day I'm going to tell that story at an inopportune time. And that day is today.
Fell asleep on the turlet. Jeremy likes to keep me up past my bedtime.
I do. Well, your bedtime's 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so
it's true.
It's not my fault that your day job, you wake up about the time I go to bed.
Right.
And now that we're doing afternoons instead of middays, I slept like a little Irish baby this morning. My alarm went off at 11 o'clock, and I panicked because today is the first day of the switch. So we did not have an early show today. First one of those will be tomorrow from 3 to 5. I woke up in a panic thinking I had slept through my alarm, and then the alarm went off again and scared me to death. I looked at the phone and went, why did I set an alarm for 11:03? And I had to think about it for a solid minute before I went, oh, yeah, we don't do that anymore. Hold old habits like you are hard to break. Because I knew I'd be here till late today, and that's what we're doing. Call-in line still open, 864-240-5480. You also hit us with a text, 864-777-9593. Or if you're around your computer, you can super chat us the way that our buddy Kevin Mullen did. Kevin's real well known for Shanahanisms, and he drew a comparison that Kyle Shanahan really struggled to watch Joey Chestnut. I can't say it the way he said it, but you can draw the comparison. He said if Dan Campbell coached the U.S. men's national team tonight, give me the pregame speech.
Let's see.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
You want that or the full kneecap?
The full kneecap.
I got the full kneecap.
Full kneecap's a good one.
We're going to kick you in the teeth. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap. And we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you.
As he was talking there, I was trying to think of the Jeremy Greene, Dan Campbell of, we have to be irks. We have to be very irksome. We need to bother our opponent, drive them so crazy, make us feel like Goodwill underwear or a Smiley's flea market sweater. And you make sure that they know at the end of this day, when they're red and itchy and irritated, that you were the irk that you were meant to be. And then you go the America angle of, see, in my head, for some reason, he has a PBR in one hand and a bald eagle on his shoulder. You do it for America, okay? Our forefathers, 250 years ago, they dreamed of this day, that one day, as Americans, we would be able to look at the rest of the world in a sport that they invented and we have been absolutely awful at for as long as it's existed, that we could look them in the face and go, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, stick your head and doo-doo, we are better than you. USA!
Keep the dream alive, Jeremy.
Look, I got news for you. We win tonight. I'm coming I'm going to be Captain America tomorrow.
Good.
I will show up in an American flag bathing suit with my American flag Batman belt buckle, which is just really a big beer harness filled with domestic lights, celebrating that we are the best. We are the best.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We can only hope. That's what, 8:00 tonight?
It is. I have to get in the Parks Ford mobile studio to scream across the city, get into my garb for the evening, turn my phone off because people apparently want me to do this in public, which is a bad idea. That just no. We don't need Jeremy doing this in the public places. Kevin Mullen said, nicely done. That was the pat on the back that I was looking for. I can't say I did coach. So I can tell you, I know what a Jeremy Greene pregame speech sounds like, and there is not one syllable of it that is allowed on the Ragey box. None of it. I mean, escorted out of the building by the cleaning crew. They called, you must go right now. And you may end up in jail before this game kicks off tonight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a story that just got posted up on ESPN that says Fuller and Balogun named to the starting 11 for the U.S. versus Belgium.
I'm telling you, we should have let Donnie do it. I'm kind of sad that we didn't.
Did we not know that?
No, I mean, we all knew it. We all know it.
He's the best player. I'm pretty sure he's going to start.
This is where the American team has to steer into being the villain. Of you should have called and just let Trump say it on Twitter. Just let him come to the mic and go, I told you, you cannot stop me. He's in. You will lose. USA.
You want to know how to take the wind out of the sails for a bunch of soccer fans? Let that happen.
I mean,
we're best off without it.
I think that come tomorrow, and I don't know why I have this feeling, but I do. I have this weird feeling with how this went, and us being the Americans, and this being a sport that's not our sport, and we're the outsiders here. I just see a path that Balogun's the one that scores the winner. And tomorrow, just come here. You'll enjoy how we talk about it. But I have a feeling there will be a lot of other places that you will not like how they talk about it. Especially if it comes from international news sites.
Sure.
Because that is a part of this. If he scores this, it's always going to have an asterisk to FIFA and to any real soccer fan. And I'm not going to lie, I couldn't care less if I tried. I hope he scores 3 times and rips his shirt off at midfield and just sings "My Nanny Nanny Boo Boo" song. That's what I hope happens. I don't know that I've ever won anything more.
Did anybody care when it happened to Ronaldo? No. Because I didn't hear that as a storyline.
No.
Ronaldo got the red card before the World Cup even started, and I think was supposed to miss both of the early group stage matches. And guess what they did?
Suspended it for a year.
They went, hey, let's suspend that red card because we can't not have our stars play.
Let's go, Americans. Let's hope tonight's another great night. Tomorrow will be a great day as well, right here on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
104.9 Fox Sports Upstate weather.
This is WYFF News 4 Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice with your forecast. The heat is on this week.
Hey, am I crazy or are we doing World Cup tonight?
We are, yeah.
Yes.
Let me guess. I already know where this is headed.
July 18th. Right now, a limited number of $59 Freedom tickets are available. Use the password America before they're gone. Get your tickets now at h-dog.com/Brantley and celebrate America in a big way.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
We got about
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
minute 40 left on this break.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now. Scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
Spain punches their ticket to the World Cup quarterfinals with a 1-0 win over Portugal. Mikel Merino playing the role of hero as he found the back of the net just as stoppage time began. Lovely goal, Frank. Spain has yet to allow a goal in the tournament. They'll take on the winner of tonight's match between the U.S. and Belgium in the next round.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
The games are over, so there's only one thing left to do: overreact. The NFL Draft Nerd is here to weave through the world of sports and separate fact from fiction. Get involved. The call-in line's open at 864-240-5480. You can tweet us. We don't call it X. The NFL Draft Nerd. Now, here's that creed-loving, bird-fearing, football lunatic, Jeremy Greene.
Hey, a little bonus radio never hurt nobody. We think you can hear us. We're still in studio. Trey's still hanging out. I'm still here.
Hi.
Call-in line's still open. Text line's still open. So let's just, you know what? We'll fire away till it's America time. Nobody has ever accused me of not being willing to talk more sports on the Ragey Box. And who knows? Maybe somebody chimed in and they're like, hey, we didn't get what we don't talk about during the Sportsocracy. We can do it here in overtime. He's Trey Falco. Right. I'm Jeremy Greene. Find us online still at the Sportsocracy for those of you that hang on. We thought we were done, and apparently the Ragelog had different ideas. So calling lines are, Hey, it was a surprise to us too. I was packing my bag, getting ready to walk out the door, and I heard sweet baby Trey go boo 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 boo.
Hey, hold on a minute.
Don't go.
You're not done.
Don't go.
I got you for 5 more minutes.
I got you for 5 minutes. You're going nowhere. Call-in lines open 864-240-5480. Text line 864-777-9593. We're just minutes away. Kickoff less than an hour away. U.S., Belgium. We got our guy. We're full strength. We're here to take down a World Cup. I'm giddy.
Hey. Look, I get it was Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's probably not the same as Belgium. I'm still trying to figure out the tier list here, right? But hey, we hung in there with 10 players for quite a while. We even found a way to score with 10 players. Now I looked at what was it, England last night, and I got to say they went down 10 players, and all they did was play defense. So I'm just saying, USA got out there. They still found a way to score a goal there with 10 men on the field.
That's what we do. We find a way to make it happen when nobody thinks we can make it happen. And tonight we don't have to do that. We got 11 guys, including the scorer. Mr. Balogun will be in your starting 11 tonight. I did really enjoy the talk of, well, maybe they should just not play him. Is this your first day? This your first day? Because that's not how sports works. If I've got a guy that can help me win, you can bet your bottom dollar that we'll be finding a way to get him out there. And that's what we're doing tonight. I have enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. Takes derision. 100%. Takes derision to it notwithstanding. We did a lot in terms of the background when it was, what games should be aired, what games, all of those things. I didn't ever really doubt that we would be here. I mean, maybe I didn't think we would get into the round of 16, but nothing has really surprised me yet except for the unmitigated fervor that I have seen. And I'm stuck on bars and restaurants because my wife and I don't cook very often. We're empty nesters, so it's no point in cooking for two. So we go out to eat a lot. Every single place we go has got people lined up around bars, sitting at tables, just watching soccer of countries that sometimes they don't even care about. A couple times, I will not say names here, Tank, of countries that people don't know where they are. We did do that at one point. It's just been, it has been a great outlet to me during this time because this is, I've heard 1,000 people working in the radio business saying this is a dead time for sports. It's not a dead time for me because I'm a draft guy. So I've been watching tape. I'm buried quarterbacks, this quarterback class. If I survive till the first week of May next year, I am indeed built different because this class is going to be insane. We've had to put the schedule together of how to see all the quarterbacks, how to see all these players that we want to see. But the World Cup has been a great distraction in what has been a very busy offseason for us.
Oh, yeah.
We've gotten flack over the years with the show that we've done forever of you talk so much about football because football's easy to talk about. Football has stars, football has passion, football has all of these other things that we just don't find with a lot of the other sports. I can talk to you about the NBA till I'm blue in the face. But if you don't want to talk about it, then why am I talking about it? This has been completely different, Trey. I know you have been as invested in this as anyone that I have seen.
I've quite enjoyed it. And, I was thinking about, it's something we talked about earlier in the previous show, thinking about soccer and its stars, and especially here in the United States where you don't really, you've got Christian Pulisic, you've got Flo Balogun, like those are your two guys right now. I think about it like, take an Erling Haaland, the striker there for Norway.
Oh, that dude's a lot of fun. That dude looks like he's fun at parties.
I love him so much. But imagine if he were born in the United States instead. You think he would have naturally gravitated towards soccer, or would he have been a tight end for, I don't know, New England or something? Would his favorite player have been Rob Gronkowski? Like, that's the thing here in America when you talk about the stars is, yeah, we don't have any stars in soccer because they're all playing in the NFL, or maybe they go into the NBA. If they've got the talent, if they're pure freak athlete like an Erling Haaland, you bet they're going in the NFL.
Well, I mean, and that's always been one of the tenet, discussions around soccer is that the best players in all these other countries, they go into soccer, and here, they get split between for the longest time the NBA. I think the NBA is seeing the NBA is seeing the fruits of its non-labor or its labor discontent of, if you're a 14-year-old kid in this country and you're like I and several others were, that we did multiple things. At some point you have to make a decision. The funny thing for me is now so many of the guys I know have kids that are coming up against this decision, and it's so funny for me to watch where they go. A very close friend of mine in Asheville's got two sons that were both top 100 recruits in baseball.
Oh, wow.
They both played basketball, but baseball was their love. And it's been so interesting for me to get to know these two kids. One of them is in college now. One of them is a senior in high school. And so this is his final year, and he's playing the travel ball. He's doing all the things. And the way we tax the time of these kids to get involved in these sports, you can't do what we were doing 30 years ago. Because it's not just, I'll play football in the fall, and then basketball in the winter, and then baseball in the spring. You can do it, but you're cooked. And at some point, you have to choose a lane. One of the problems that has always struck me with soccer in this country is when the schedule is. Because it knocks you out of other things. I've always said if I had to do all over again, I'd have played basketball and I'd played golf. That's it. Done. If for nothing else, because now I can't jump out of my truck without thinking my knee is going to turn into a star-spangled banner. With rockets red glare.
Like those videos going around on, have you seen them on social media where they like jump out of the truck or they jump over the fence or whatever, and as they walk away, it cuts to a different angle and they're like a ghost and turn back around.
It's a business decision. And look, the Parks Ford Mobile Studio has a 7.5-inch lift. I am a 6'5" man that weighs 269 pounds. These knees, they've seen better days. Been the star of many plays. And every time I see that, I go, yep, that could be the one. And so now when I slide out of the truck bed like an old man into a bath, people might make fun. But you know what I live? To walk another day. No crutches for this guy, if at all possible. But I do look at soccer, and I'm curious. It's one of those things that we're not going to know this for 4 years. It may even be longer than that. I'm curious how many kids that played soccer and basketball or soccer and whatever the case may be that have watched this and will make that decision to stick with soccer. I mean, one of the problems is that we don't really have anything here. The MLS is fine. It's fine. But the money is just not there the way it is in other places. So there's a great chance that you're going to be a star in another country. How do we bridge that gap? The MLS, I'm not going to lie to you, I still remember the day that I first heard of the MLS back in the 90s. And I laughed and thought that will last for 15 minutes. Because the support's not there.
Right.
But even the women's national team and their runs, and that was new, and Brandy Chastain and all of the things that happened back then that were when I was a kid, that was in the women's game. We were never there in the men's game. This is the first time in all of the years, and I've watched this with, at the very least, a precursory interest for my entire life. This is the first time that I watched the men's American national team and think we have a shot. Maybe not against the best of the best. Mbappe is going to be the best player on the pitch against us.
Yeah.
All
Spain
of these other guys.
Out of goal. Or no. What is it? There's some crazy stat with Spain that they've been incredible this run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they would be who we face off against if we move through against Belgium, which I think we have a chance. I think we will.
We're actually the favorite.
Yeah. Like, so how big of an appeal do you think it would be looking at soccer compared to, because like you've got kids that maybe you're looking at, do I go to soccer? Do I go to the NFL? Like obviously the NFL is the big pool here. You could be a star in the NFL. It's saturated. It is. You already have stars in the NFL. Is there enough of an appeal to go, maybe I could be the guy in soccer to make you stick with soccer? Because it's open field here in the U.S.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, is that we don't have, and that's what we were talking about in the Sportsocracy show earlier, is that we don't, there's not a Michael Jordan of U.S. soccer.
Oh,
there
not.
are a lot of guys, but I mean, at what point, like how far in this do we have to go for that 15-year-old kid that's on the fence of soccer and insert other sport here, I don't really care which one it is, that he goes, I'm going to go that path. I'm going to be that guy. Where is the Michael Jordan that was the greatest basketball player that ever lived and still found a reason to go play 2 years of baseball? That's what we're going to need. We're going to need, Christian Pulisic is great. And a lot of other players that we've had over the years, I could do this for a while, they've been great. We haven't had the star that changes the sport. But I never really felt like we were ready for the star. Because at the end of the day, that star was going to be a star with 10 guys out there with him that probably couldn't play for who we were playing against when we got to this point. The depth is there. And I mean, to me, you could probably say this better than I could because you've been even more locked in than I have. We don't have a drop-off. There's not the point, and I hate to equate soccer to hockey here, but one of the ways that you can always figure out how good a hockey team is, wait till they get to the third line.
Yeah.
When you get to the third line, and now it's not the star that you gave too much money to come here. That I call this the Jack Eichel rule for years. Because Jack Eichel was this diamond just surrounded by pig excrement because that team was just not very good. You get to that third line and you can see it. I feel the same way about soccer with when we start substituting. You start seeing these guys and they're specialized and they have their own individual role based on how the game's gone. I don't see a substantial drop-off. I do see the difference in what did you say the kid's name from Norway is?
Oh, Holland, Erling Haaland.
Haaland
here on the World Cup stage.
I don't know why I can't make my mouth say that guy's name correctly, but I can't. I see the letters and I go, the West Virginia in me is too strong, and that I can't make that word be pronounced that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see the difference in that guy. That's the high water mark. That's the best player on the pitch. We don't have one of those. But then you look at the other 10 and go, I don't see a substantial difference there. I don't see when, and through this, we haven't played a team, and I'm sure that the soccer purists right now are losing their minds, the uneducated football guy that's trying to explain their sport. I'm just looking at this the way I've evaluated everything else that I've ever done in my life. I've been involved in sports for 30 some odd years. I can tell an athlete against not an athlete. It is one of the funniest things as I've gone through my career. And yes, I am a football guy. I can see a kid at 14 years old at a high school and point out that kid's going to be a dog because I can just see it in you.
Oh, yeah.
You may not be refined. You may not be the overall player that you're going to one day be. But I see that dog in you, for lack of a better way of saying it. We have some dogs on this team. We have some depth to this team.
Oh, yeah.
And if we can find a way to win tonight, and this carries for a handful more days, and then I don't even want to look at the next step of it because that is so far down the rabbit hole, and the competitive side of me just does not allow that. But if you get to that, this can be unlike anything we've ever seen. Crazy Blade in the YouTube chat, this is probably the best way I've heard this said yet. Where is the Caitlin Clark of soccer?
Ooh.
I've never heard anybody say it that way, and that is one of the most eloquent ways of saying that. Because the WNBA was, and I'm not, don't make this more than what I'm going to say. From a marketing standpoint, which is what my background is in, the WNBA was an absolute abject nightmare because they were being run by basically the NBA that had absolutely no idea how to market this game. It was super obvious. It works great in certain areas. SEC women's college basketball has been popular for a while, but then they go into the WNBA and there's no loyalty to the team, and nobody is a dead-in-the-wool New York Liberty fan because this is a newer sport. Most of our love for our teams comes either from our parents or our childhood. That's one day I will write a book on that. To me, it's one of the most interesting things in the world. You're raised, and sports is such a big part of your life. You accidentally, almost, pick allegiances that will be with you forever. I've always said the longest relationship I have in my life is with the Florida State Seminoles. I became a Florida State fan in 1992. I was 5. They've been with me through 2 marriages, failed marriages, a now successful marriage, 4 businesses, 5 states, more cars than I can count, more dwellings than I can count, but Florida State was always the consistent. It's always something that I love. This is where a lot of these other things, the New York Liberty didn't exist in 1992. It's hard for a generation to have that when the team became a thing when they were 16 years old. And you never had the player that you could point at, and now I think you've got a handful of them, to be honest. I think Caitlin Clark's just on the high side of it. That as, a father of 3 daughters, you can look at them and go, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that proved that you can make a career out of this, and you can make the money, and everything can be good, and you can be a star. We've never had that in soccer. I could take Landon Donovan, who is Captain America of U.S. soccer. I could ask an average sports fan, not a soccer fan, an average sports fan, somebody listening to this show, who did he play for in the MLS? I'll bet you 50% or more would get it wrong. I just so happen to know it was the New York Red Bulls. It's also the LA Galaxy. I think that was the 2 that I know he played for the Galaxy.
Sounds right. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we at one point did have a team called the New York Red Bulls, which is still, that will never not be funny to me. Just what if we had a basketball team named the LA Fireballs?
Hey, whoever sponsors, man.
So look, as a guy whose entire life is I get it. It was the LA Galaxy. He did not play for the Red Bulls. I swear I thought he did. But you don't know that because you didn't have the allegiance to him, or you didn't have the allegiance to the team, you had the allegiance to him. Timothy O'Toole, legal counsel of the show, said, I did not know he was a person until right now. Tim, you're younger, and I can completely believe that you did not know that he was a person, because it was a weird time in soccer. But there's actually a perfect comment for what I'm saying here, is that this is the golden age if this is ever going to be a thing before I'm on the wrong side of the dirt. And I'm sure somebody's listening to this going, I don't care about soccer. I didn't care about soccer either until you bathed it in the flag. And now we've bathed it in the flag. And I'm also having one of those weird cathartic moments. If you had ever told me one day I would do 23 minutes of unscripted radio talking about soccer, I would have immediately said, was I kidnapped by pirates? How big was the gun pointed at me? Was it a fever dream? Did I have 104-degree fever before I did this? But I've watched the evolution of sports so much in my 30-plus years of doing this. I remember when the NBA was one of the biggest things out there. The NFL was not this unwavering, untouchable force. And now I've watched the sports tree get picked off. If I sit here and do 20 minutes about baseball, I can literally watch viewers drop out. I can watch listeners drop off in live time. That's why I don't do it. Same thing with a lot of other sports. There are niche parts of this, and I see a potential future in soccer. Not that it's ever going to be the NFL, because it's not going to be. Anybody that tells you it's going to be is out of their mind. And I mean that. They're completely out of their mind, because the NFL has such a big part of the pie. that won't be touched unless they crash the car. So, say that one more time, Trey.
I said, plus it's ours. Like here in the United States, like we would adopt soccer, obviously. That's kind of the world sport, but the NFL that's explicitly American. That's ours.
And that's where the American comes in for me. We're competitive, and we are the home of Richard Petty, which I am. And if we can beat you at our sport, that is something we can cling on to forever. And so if you can get through Belgium tonight, we'll look at the other teams down the line, but there's some big names on the top of that card that are out in front of you. And if you can get through that, I think this sport has a chance to have real, honest-to-God staying power in this country. And I'm here for it. I would love to do this every 4 years. I don't know that I want to schedule it ever again, but I would love to do this every 4 years. It's been a supernova to me.
Yeah.
Of how it's united people that would never be talking to each other around a bar about a sport that they, in large part, know way less about than they, in some cases, think or in some cases act. But it hasn't mattered. I haven't had one person correct me on a term. I haven't had one person that's a dead-in-the-wool soccer fan that wasn't ready to tell me why whatever just happened, because I can't hear the audio. I can only see the video, and I'm a little bit lost. It's been a great thing. I've enjoyed it, and I hope that this is not the end of it. I hope it carries on, and we're talking about it again tomorrow.
Well, I mean, you still got, a week? Is it a week and a half, something like that left in the whole World Cup? So, hopefully United States moves on through. But if not, you still got soccer for a little bit longer, and then if you want to go find you a team, you're more than welcome to. But then it's on to football, baby. Real football.
Now if we're talking about our football, it's about to get real soon. Because I don't know if you know this, but we are less than 2 weeks from the start of camps.
Oh, really?
I will be in an NFL camp less than 3 weeks from now. Tank and I will be on a field with teams playing. It's a preseason game. I get it. Those are not the most fun thing to watch you've ever seen.
Right.
31 days from right now. 4 weeks from Thursday, we will be in Canton, Ohio. We will have helmets on, and we will be playing football. And we'll be talking about all of it right here. And whether it's overtime, the Sportsocracy, I'm not 100% sure what show we actually just did. But we did it.
I don't know.
But we did it. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene.
A 1 minute kick at the World Cup.
We got just mere seconds now until it kicks in. And I implore, if you haven't bought into it and you're at home or you're out in public or you're anywhere that you can get in front of a television, find it. I encourage you to do it with people you don't know. Just walk into a bar and go, hey, you know what? Yep. Let's do this. I've done it a bunch, and it's been a lot of fun. And at one point, it was at 2:30 in the afternoon.
30 seconds.
In a crowd that I had done a Super Bowl at months before. There was a bigger crowd at 2:30 in the afternoon for an American soccer match in the group stage than there was for the Super Bowl. And that's a wild thing to watch. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. Join us tomorrow right here on Fox Sports Upstate, 5 p.m. for the Sportsocracy. Our schedule, it finally levels out tomorrow, and it will be what we've been telling you. Join us tomorrow right here, Fox Sports Upstate, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
Okay. I really hope that kicks to World Cup because I have no idea what to do from now.
It should have kicked right there.
I think it did. It's doing stuff on here. There it goes. Okay, now it's finally swapped over.
Let's go. Hey,